What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you guys are new here, my name is Eamon. I make a whole bunch of videos about BMWs. As you guys can see, I own a few. I have an M3, an X5, and then right over here behind me I have a 330i. Now on my channel I get a lot of questions, but the two most popular questions that I get all the time are, one, how do I afford these cars? Now I answered that question a few times in a few different videos, but the other question I never really answered, at least not for all of my cars, and that is, how much did I pay for these cars? When I first got the M3, I did a whole video basically breaking out the price of that car, all the options, all that, but I never talked about the price of the X5. I never talked about the price of the 330i. Maybe I did in passing here and there, but I want to make this one video telling you guys exactly how much I paid for all of these cars, because honestly, it's a genuine question, and I know a lot of you guys are curious about that. So with that said, we're just gonna get right into it, and after that, you guys can judge me on if I got a deal or maybe I just got ripped off. But anyways, let's start off with the first car, and that's gonna be this, the 2017 BMW 330i X-Drive. It is a sport line, so it's not an M Sport. It's actually a pretty nicely loaded car, besides the fact that it's missing the M Sport kit. So this car actually bought like 2 years ago in 2022, and it only had 21,000 miles on it, so it was actually pretty fairly new-ish. The car was pretty clean overall, and I did buy it from a random used car dealership up in New Jersey, so that obviously all factors into it. And in terms of the price, with sales tax, with everything, I paid $27,665 for this car. Again, that's after everything: sales tax, registration, dealership fees, the price for the car, obviously. Honestly, out of all the cars that I bought ever, I think this is the one I got the worst deal on. A big part of that had to do with the fact that I bought it in 2022 when the car market was so crazy. So unfortunately, I think I paid a little more than I should have for this car. But at the time, you know, all cars were expensive, so I shouldn't complain. But I will say, out of all the cars that I bought, this was definitely the worst deal. So before we move on to the next car, I just want to take a moment to thank today's video sponsor, and that is Simply Carbon Fiber. So Simply Carbon Fiber has been supporting me for a little while now. So if you guys don't know, they make a whole bunch of carbon fiber accessories, not for your cars, but for yourself, like a wallet, phone case, sunglasses, rings. Right now I'm rocking their carbon phone case, which looks absolutely beautiful, especially in the sun. It's nice, it's sleek, it's simplistic, and it looks absolutely amazing. And just like everything else that they sell, it's super high quality. So get yourself this phone case, the wallet, anything else. There's a discount code for you guys to use to get an additional 10% off. So go crazy. Support them the way that they've been supporting me. But anyways, guys, with that said, we're gonna move on to the next car. All right, so the next car, and my latest car actually, this is a 2021 BMW X5 40i. This one is M Sport, and it is pretty nicely loaded. It's missing a few key options like laser headlights, heads-up display, and a few other things, but something that actually makes this car super rare, and in my opinion a little more valuable because it's so rare, is it has a third row. If you guys don't know, X5s on this generation rarely had the third row, so to find one with a third row was super rare. Dealerships know that, and they hike up the price a little more, unfortunately. So in a way, this is a pretty rare car, so keep that in mind when I tell you guys the price. And then other than that, I actually bought this from a BMW dealership. This car had a bit of higher mileage, but since I had the B58, I didn't mind as much. It had 36,000 miles when I bought it, so not high, but not exactly low. It did come off a lease, and whoever had it before me, they definitely drove it. But with all that said, again, after everything, so sales tax, registration, dealership fees, everything, I paid almost $50,000 flat for this car. Now overall, I feel pretty okay about this deal. This car is pretty rare. Unfortunately, I was struggling a lot to find a third row X5, especially one that had the M Sport kit. So that was really important to me. So I kind of paid a premium in my mind for this car just to get exactly what I wanted, and I'm okay with that. This car, I think it was an okay deal, but obviously feel free to roast me down in the comments below if you guys think I overpaid for this thing. All right, so the next and last car, and I'm sure the car you guys are most interested about, my 2023 G80 M3 competition with X-Drive. So for context, guys, if you didn't know already, this car is pretty highly spec. Just to name a few things, it has the laser headlights, and then it also has the extended leather, the carbon bucket seats. It doesn't have a few key things like the ceramic brakes, but otherwise, this car is pretty well spec'd in my opinion. So obviously all that's gonna impact the price. And I will say, guys, this, believe it or not, is the only car that I bought brand new. I went to the dealership, I spec'd it out exactly how I wanted it. I ordered it, I waited about like 10 months to get this car. So this is the only car I bought brand new. This is my first M car. As you guys can tell, typically I buy my cars used. I think you just save a lot more money that way. But this being an M car and me being kind of like maybe a little picky about how I wanted it. I chose to spec it. Also, at the time when I bought this car, if you just went up to the dealership, you would probably pay like 5 to 10 grand over MSRP for one, and then you're not even gonna get the exact spec that you wanted. So I thought buying it brand new, ordering it was the best route. Things, however, have changed since then. For context, I ordered this thing in July of 2022, and I didn't get it until May of 2023. So again, 2022, a bad time to buy a car. I chose to buy 2 of them. I'm an idiot, I know. But anyways, guys, in terms of the price, I paid about $103,000 for this G80 M3. I know that sounds like a lot, but let me just remind you guys, that is after dealership fees, that is after sales tax, registration. So that is the final out the door price. I did get a few rebates. If you guys are wondering, the spec price of this G80 M3 was $97,000. But again, I ended up paying $103,000 or so after everything. I know that's gonna be a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. I paid over $100,000 for a BMW M3, basically a glorified 3 Series. Not that I think that's what it is, but you know, some people will call it that. Now, do I feel stupid about that? Absolutely not. I absolutely love this car. I think it's worth every single penny. This car is everything that you'd want it to be and more. Honestly, I love it more and more each and every day, from the exterior to the interior to the performance of this car. I think it's an absolutely amazing car, worth every single penny. And this might be a good time to reiterate, guys, I monetize all of these cars. I make YouTube videos about them. I use them for marketing, for sponsorships. So these cars, despite being depreciating assets, which a lot of people like to call them online, these cars actually make me a lot of money. So that's why I choose to spend this much money on cars. I think otherwise it would probably be a little more irresponsible of me. But since these cars pay for themselves and also make me money, I think it's a pretty smart decision. I found a way to essentially monetize something that I love. So there it is, guys, all these cars together. I paid almost $200,000 for, maybe closer to like $180,000, but still, that's a lot of money to pay for cars. But anyways, guys, this video is not to brag, it's not to flex, because trust me, it's not a brag or a flex by any means. I'm making it to settle some curiosity. Again, a lot of people ask me these questions. How do I afford these cars? How much should I pay for them? And I know the feeling of that curiosity. I'm one of those guys, whenever I see a younger dude driving by in like an M5 or something, I'm just like, dude, like, how do you afford that car? Like, what are you doing? So I get the feeling, so that's why I like to be transparent with you guys and tell you everything. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please drop it a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And yeah, with that said, this video is pretty much done, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.